Unbox both the sliding table crate and the main body crate. Remove the parts from the main body crate and set them aside. Using a forklift, lift the main body of the saw and place it in the position where it will be used. Tilt the body of the machine to 45 degrees. This will make it easier to install the lower dust port. Mount the rib fence rail by removing the front two nut and washers. Slide the threaded rods through the hole provided on the main body of the machine and mount the nut and washers on the other side. Then tighten with a 19mm wrench. Mount the rear extension table by removing the third nut and washer on the rib fence rail. Then thread the Allen bolt on the outer end of the table. After, install the remaining two bolts and make sure that your table is level before tightening. Finally, mount the final washer and nut on the rib fence rail. Mount the rib fence assembly by first removing the stopper on one end of the rib fence rail. Slide the assembly on, making sure that all the parts align properly. Make sure that the clamp on the assembly sits on the rail. Finally, install the stopper back in place. Next, mount the tape by positioning it next to the holes on the main body of the machine. Then, insert the threaded Allen bolts. To mount the rib fence, lift the rib fence assembly and loosen the handle in the back. With enough clearance, you should be able to slide the rib fence through the front of the rib fence assembly. Once in position, tighten the rear handle again and let the rib fence assembly down. Check the level, and if necessary, loosen the rear handle again and make the necessary adjustments. At this point, you can mount the blades. Mount the scoring blade by loosening the nut that holds the flange together counterclockwise. Then, once you've mounted the blade and made sure that the teeth are facing the correct direction, tighten the nut clockwise. In the case of the main blade, loosen the nut clockwise. Then, once you've verified that the teeth on the blade are facing the correct direction, tighten counterclockwise. Install the riving blade by loosening the nut that holds the bracket in place next to the main blade. Then, slide the riving blade through the two Allen bolts that align it. Before tightening, check the distance of the main blade to the riving blade and the minimum amount allowed on the front cover of the guard. Then, tighten the riving blade. Now you can mount the sliding table onto the main table body. Line up the holes on the sliding table to the holes on the main table body. Before tightening down the sliding table bolts, make sure that the sliding table alignment bolts that are found on the end of the main body are touching the sliding table itself. Install the main table lock by loosening the nut on one side and inserting it on the sliding table itself. Adjust it to the appropriate distance and lock it down. To mount the dust collector arm, first mount the brackets by inserting them to the extension table. Line up the holes and slide the arm through it. Once at the desired distance, insert the two Allen bolts to hold it in the desired position. To mount the orange dust cover, line up the holes on the dust cover itself with the hole on the riving blade. Then, insert the Allen bolt. Tighten it until it's in the desired position. Next, mount the 4-inch adapter to the dust collector hose. Secure it with zip ties or hose clamps. Then, mount the dust collector hose to the orange blade guard. Secure this one with zip ties or a hose clamp as well. Finally, run the dust collector hose through the arm and secure it with zip ties or hose clamps as well. Install the support arm by sliding it through the main body of the machine. Line up the T-slot brackets with the groove on the side of the sliding table. Then, line up the support arm with the hole that's found underneath the support table. Finally, tying down on the handles to hold the support table in place. Mount the crosscut fence by lining up the pins found on the bottom of the fence with the holes found on the support table. Then, insert the bolts from underneath to secure the fence to the support table. On the outer end of the crosscut table, there are 4 Allen bolts. Remove these 4 bolts to mount the panel support leg. Then, tighten the bolts back up. Finally, with the saw completely assembled, you can go ahead and mount the remaining accessories as shown.